Okay, so how we can start? So, do you plan to ask the questions, or we can, I don't know, together find the same and discuss it, something like this?
Yeah, well, I was having a look at My Wish website. I had a look at do you call it usage, the
Jewish, yeah.
token
It's a little bit
usage?
Jewish, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's nice. And it's funny because my question is regarding um, user adoption because the MyWish platform provides a way so that normal people can actually write, buy their template for smart contracts, and through doing that, you guys can actually leverage user adoption and grow the number of people using blockchain, especially using EOS. Um, we at the hackathon that we did, one of the biggest issues we had was regarding the documentation of EOS.io, and lots of people were trying to start using it, but they actually had a hard time, and we had to count on the mentors and everyone collaborating, actually helping them out. So, how are you guys being able to deploy all these templates and do this smart contract kind of factory? How is it for you to find people to work on it? Like, is it easy in Russia? Because like in Brazil, that's our biggest challenge.
Yeah, for us it was also a big challenge. So I think we have spent a lot of time in chats and discuss with EOS developers how you can do this way or this way. And if you don't use the chats, I think you will fail. So you will work with the EOS community like every day, ask the questions and try to answer another questions to be inside of it. So
Uh-huh.
it still requires a lot of things. And you know that it's sometimes documentation is not. So, for example, white paper. You know that some things in iOS IO white paper is not like implemented. And we
Hmm.
have checked the final release of EOS mainnet, and there are a lot of code was removed in the last moment before the release. So not everything that was in white paper and talk to communities already deployed. So
Yeah.
be careful with this one. For example, this one interesting feature which can fix some problems in comparison with Ethereum. So when you have a smart contract and for example, it works on the 5th of December, it will send some money to your friend, something like this. And if nobody call your contract, it will not know what is the date right now. So somebody from external world should call it, probably another contract, but or you manually from your wallet. And in EOS, it was can be done by this the same contract. So it will be like a schedule inside of it one. But nobody even try is it work or not right now. So it's still like it should work, but there's no information is it working or not, and can we try it and so on. So a
Yeah.
lot of features which needs to be researched before you try it, and you can expect that nobody in the world before you try it. So it's still a lot of things to do by the
Yeah.
developer. So if you're a manager, I think it's impossible to do something right now. So not to
Yeah.
start learning smart contracts from EOS.
Yeah, we like I had this conversation with Igor, that is our head of technology, and he said, "Listen, it's even hard to make documentation because the software is evolving so fast. Like there's a lot of patches going on, and especially on the last since the mainnet launch, it's been like so many patches actually updating the system that if we had a plan to do like tutorials for developers and all that, and he said if we've done that, all the work would be on the garbage right now because they already changed everything.
Yeah. So
So now,
yes, yeah. I think that the recommendation probably that what do you think? Should we wait probably a little bit for several months before starting like a big developments? So what do you think?
yeah, yeah. Now, in our opinion, like now the code is getting more stable, like from mainnet until now, like 3-4 months, the code is much more stable. Like we're actually now thinking on launching this project, like would be an educational project with video tutorials, trying to help people and actually get more people involved to write documentation. And now we believe that we're getting into the right timing to do that because now the code is a bit more stable. And regarding like big software developments, like as we believe that you got to just start in small pieces and implement them, little by little, like, the good old agile way. Just like we're doing with Simplios, for example, our wallet, like we've like pretty much every month, like we're sending new updates and, trying to make a new version all the time to, make the software always up to date.
Yeah. By the way, regarding if you have a wallet, I think it's probably a good idea to integrate part of our service inside of your, if you have a wallet with all EOS based tokens, so probably users can press one button, create own, and we will automatically create it for him. Because he will immediately send it to his friends or use it for like airdrop or for crowd sale. So I think it will be a very good experience for the user to try to create own cryptocurrency based on EOS.
Yeah,
and I think it will probably we also need.
I could talk with Domi. She's the product owner in Newsreel, like she's the head of product, so I can talk to her and put you in contact with her because I believe that that's a good thing to put on our roadmap.
Yeah, I think it's also regarding EOS adoption. So if you like have a business, small business, and some people come to you every day, you can probably give some coins as loyalty program to them. So it's just created send for every buy if something buy something in your market. So just give your coin and next time you will give a discount. So it's very simple. Integration. Okay,
you can use like mileage programs, like fidelity programs. It's I agree, it's good.
So it's a very good idea for mass adoption, I think. What else? So by the way, do you think about what from your perspective is what is EOS needed right now? So I mean, from the tools perspective. So you as a developer, what do you feel that what needs to be done? Probably our project can help you with developing something.
Yeah. Well, just to make clear, like I'm the head of community at EOS Rio. I'm not a developer, but I mean
that you are working with developers.
I can understand the language in a way. And what we've been looking at in the past months is that we actually need the referendum contract to be up and running because we really believe that EOS will have like a before referendum and after referendum life because things we'll be able to legitimate block producer decisions and we'll be able to walk one more step towards a proper blockchain governance. So for now, like in my opinion, Luize's opinion, like referendum contract should be our priority zero, for the whole community. And after that, after the referendum contract, I think we'll have established the basis for actually setting up and defining the model of dispute resolution that we want to have on chain. And what I'm saying is, in terms of scalability, technology, numbers show that EOS is by far, the best, but the most efficient blockchain. In our perspective, many dApps and many investors are not in EOS yet due to what we call it they are insecure on how things are working. And because they are insecure, like they don't know how governance works and they don't know how the split resolution works, and they don't know how it's going to be. This makes them kind of afraid. So they're kind of say, okay, I'll stick with the good old Ethereum. It's been there for 2 years. There's a lot of adoption in the community. I would rather put my money there and my project there than trying to go into a new venture that is just 3-4 months old. Of course, the ones that are willing to take the risk and do that before, they're going to be more rewarded than those that are not willing to take the risk. But in our opinion, for actually bringing business into like more dApps and actually develop the ecosystem, we're going to bring like a layer of governance that actually is predictable, and predictable in a way that the rules of the game, how it's going to be. And right now, because we don't have the referendum contract, we don't have the dispute resolution system, whether it's ECAF or not. My opinion, and speaking with entrepreneurs and people from the blockchain community, they're still unsure, and they don't want to be at the hands of, let's say, arbitrary decisions from block producers. We know it's not arbitrary. We know we're trying to reach a consensus and all that, but it's hard to explain that to someone that is not living 24/7 the EU's life, So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, from our experience, so we have both platform, Ethereum and EOS, and Ethereum takes about 70% of all contracts right now. So it's still much more popular from smart contracts perspective, but EOS is continue to grow significantly. So every day it's like plus 1%, something like this. So people start use EOS much more actively. And you know that we start with Ethereum 1 year ago. So it's like almost every idea was already started, something like this. In EOS, it's another way. So it's a lot of niches, a lot of areas when you can be the first right now. So develop a game, develop like a storage, develop a smart contract service. So it's risky because it's quite new, but it's still very good business opportunities to be the first in this place. So it's like, and the last thing, regarding Ethereum. So I think that popularity of Ethereum it's mostly connected with the ICO on crowd sale contract based on Ethereum. So a lot of projects start ICOs during the last year based on Ethereum. And people need to buy Ethers every day to invest to this project. So when more projects will come to EOS, it will like improve everything, I think. So
yeah, agree.
So
and how was migrating or going like from an Ethereum based company to like be like both on Ethereum and EOS? How was that experience? Like that's a curiosity that I have. Like because we're seeing many entrepreneurs saying, okay, we're gonna move our project to EOS, and we have talked with many people, but I haven't actually talked to someone like you that actually made this transition and are actually running on it. So how was this experience?
I think it's so good. So the main thing is community. It's a little bit strange because when we start working with the EOS, it's very hard to start. So it's because when we start with Ethereum, it's community was very closed. So if you do not know like key members, you are nothing. So you can send something in chat, you can ask, but no answers because you're like, what is the project? What is my wish? And we were so young.
Who are you, right?
Yes. Even if you post something already in Ethereum subreddit, you will just get 5 minus and you are gone. So it's because they are not interesting like in such small things. In EOS, it's completely different way. So it's very open, and everyone try to help each other think about integration. For example, as we talk with you, so you have a wallet, we have idea, we can integrate together. But if you come to Ethereum wallet, like Miser wallet, you can talk like half of a year about negotiation. So it's it's very strange. I know why it's this community is so closed for new members. I know that if you like CEO of Etherscan, for example, you can talk to Vitalik without any problems. But if you're outside of this group, so no support, unfortunately. Invest completely different way. So I can say that if you have like a good idea right now, so I recommend you to start on the EOS. So it's much more open community, and you can get much more marketing, because if you are like young and you need to people know about your project. In Ethereum, it's almost no chances, unfortunately.
Nice. And for me, that's a key difference. Like, and it all starts with the protocol itself and the philosophy behind the protocol. Like, collaborating is better than competing. So, and I think like this collaboration spirit that actually brought EOS and brought and kind of enlightens the delegated proof of stake actually shows it in the community that we truly believe that collaborating is better than competing. And that's and it goes to welcoming new members, to being able to do business with more fluidity. Like, it's easily to do business. It's easier to collaborate, because we all know that if we bring more people to the network, right, we're gonna bring network effects and we're gonna generate more value. And and it's funny because I spoke to someone, like I spoke to an entrepreneur that wanted to do a project on Ethereum, and then he was migrating to EOS, and he said, and his project didn't actually move forward, but he said, Luize, just by being able to speak with someone that is a block producer is already great for me, because I sent several messages to Ethereum Foundation. I tried to reach several members, and no one even bothered to answer me. So, and now listening to your experience and your feedback makes me truly understand, like, that maybe the biggest asset that we're building on EOS, it's actually the community. Because the more the best this community is, and the more welcoming it is for new business, and if we build a good, let's say, business environment for newcomers, that's a great thing. People are gonna start building their projects on top of EOS, not because we are the fastest protocol, but because we got a good business environment as a whole. It's just like choosing which country you're gonna place your business. If you can talk to the governments and decision makers, and have a talk about how it's gonna be, it's much better than if you go to a closed government that do not tell you the rules, and they're not actually caring about you. So it's great to hear that.
Do you think probably it's connected with cryptocurrency processes? So before, like when Ethereum was started, so it will be like quite small group of people knows about blockchain, right? So about the cryptocurrency. And during the last year, by the new year, when Bitcoin rate was 20K, so a lot of people comes to the blockchains, and there's a EOS, and you can be like a community and so on. So probably it's okay from it's a normal process. So the first blockchain will be only small group of people knows about it and believe in it, and it's become a close community. And then when a lot of people after this hype learned, and they joined a new system and make it open, probably it's connected process. So it's not like a Ethereum problem. It's probably just an evolution of how people know about this one and how they try to work together.
Yeah, I agree. It's not an Ethereum problem. It's like it's an incentives problem in a way. Like on delegated proof of stake, we have the incentives to collaborate. We have the incentives to be welcoming with MyWish and any other new platform that are trying to build value for us. While on proof of work protocols, we're competing. So we got to be focusing on our own stuff instead of being opening and able to collaborate with more people. So that's a key difference in my perspective. And
Okay. By the way, what do you think is the future? So it will be like one blockchain for everything in the world, or it will be like many blockchains, every blockchain for one like big task. So
yeah,
what do you think?
I truly believe in a plural blockchain world where Bitcoin will always have its own use cases, like the digital gold or whatever. Ethereum will still have its own use cases. I think now that they're getting together with Hyperledger, they can be used more for, I don't know, corporate use cases. And I believe on EOS, we're going to have lots of side chains like Warbly, for example, that at EOS Rio, we are a block producer at Warbly. And these side chains will meet specific needs and will help achieve like specific necessities. Like Warbly, for example, sorry, it's a blockchain that aims to be fully compliant with financial services requirements. So I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm a bit old.
Bless you.
Warbly aims to be fully compliant with the financial services requirements. So in those side chains, you'll be able to have a different governance rules and be able to reach more people and have a better services for the end user. So by having multiple chains, and I mean side chains on EOS, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all the other blockchains that are coming, I think each one of them will have a few niches, but of course that is going to be like a major protocol, like something like Windows, and yeah, and iOS, for example. And I believe that EOS is on the right path to be that protocol, because by by enabling inter-blockchain communication and all the side chains that we actually are implementing, I think the future looks really bright.
Okay. Yeah. From our perspective, it will be like one blockchain. So, for example, in Russia right now, so many companies, like, for example, if you are working like in facility or in supply chain, so every company in this area create an own blockchain solution. And even government in different districts of Russia creates own solution based on blockchain. So it's like a mess. So it's like a lot of blockchains ideas, but it can't work together. So it's like a very big problem right now. So
so they can't work together.
Yes. So everyone tried to apply blockchain to their work, but nobody thinks about how it will be integrated with each other, because it's like competitions right now. If you develop a good blockchain for like supply chain, you will be like the first and so on. So it's like, and we hope that it will be like one very good protocol, as you said, for almost everything. Because if you are working in like international business, if you work like on Ethereum, for example, in Rio, and we are working on EOS in St. Petersburg, so how we can work together. So it's I think it's still, so we hope that like in 10 years that will be like one giant, very decentralized, I mean from the world perspective, and which will be possible to implement everything based on this one. So
yeah, I believe in like the 80-20 rule, that like I think one blockchain, like and we are gonna work that towards like being EOS. Like we want EOS to be the 80% market share blockchain, but I truly believe that on this 20%, there's still room for like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hyperledger, because there are a few use cases that they might be more suitable and people might want to use them. But for sure, being able to have side chains, inter-protocol communications, and inter-blockchain integrations, like that's a feature that EOS is implementing, and it's going to be really important to get this, like, to be the most adopted decentralized protocol.
Okay, yeah, I agree. So yeah, let's go. Let's work in this way. Yeah, together. I think we should.
Yeah, great.
We should do this one. Okay. What else? I thought we can discuss. By the way, what do you think about the games on the blockchain? We have talked with several projects which worked on Ethereum, and you know that when its gas price was grow significantly, it's like because of Ethereum overloaded processes, so it's like all games stopped because it's nobody don't want to do don't want to make a move because it's so expensive.
Yeah,
so,
I remember that. CryptoKitties.
Yeah, and many others. Yeah, it's it's right now it's like a marketplace for the games. You can see the ratings. It's like an app store, but for Ethereum. So, do you think that games like the Firms or like probably Casino can come to iOS and completely move from iOS, for example, from Android or from any other platform to the blockchains completely?
Absolutely. We have an example from EOS Bet.
Yeah, EOS Bet.
That they just let me get the numbers, but if I'm not wrong, like in the past in the last week or something. Let me just get the numbers, but like in the last week, they processed more transactions than the whole Ethereum and Bitcoin networks.
Yeah,
and that's pretty amazing. Like because if our network is able to handle all these transactions, and
if one application could do,
if one application can do that, imagine an ecosystem of applications. Imagine how we can actually make a revolution on the gaming system and actually help people live their lives as a gamer. And I don't think we're really that far from it. If that's good or bad, I don't know.
But it's not our question yet.
Yeah, it's not a question for us, but that's definitely something that we're gonna be able to implement in EOS. Sorry.
Yeah. So I agree with you. So if you are a game developer, so you are welcome to try to make a real game. Like if you got like a real price in iOS and try to build your game on iOS. So it will give a lot of possibilities to the users to make money.
I just got here the numbers. EOS Bet had like a record in the 24 hours of 542,709 transactions. So that's
it's amazing.
Quite a lot. It's amazing. And when we compare it, Bitcoin had 240,000 transactions briefly, and Ethereum had 678 transactions. So one dApp running on EOS, is processing more transactions than let's say the biggest protocols we have nowadays in terms of market cap. So that's pretty impressive.
Okay. After 2 months after launching the mainnet.
Yeah, that's it. After like 3-4 months mainnet. So that's impressive.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. So a lot of things to do. So if it's possible to stop my wish right now and start working a game on the game on iOS. So a lot of ideas. Why not? Okay. Okay, so unfortunately, I have to go like in 2 minutes. So we can I think we can stop for today and probably continue. Like probably for the next time I will create the list of things to discuss, and probably you can add something also to make it more, to prepare some interesting facts, probably to make it more interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. We're really grateful for having this conversation and being able to share our thoughts with the youth community. And it's very nice to start this intercultural exchange and getting to know more about the ecosystem in Russia and your thoughts about the use ecosystem. It's been a great experience for us. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, by the way, if you plan like educational courses, so we will happy to help you with part of this one, to how to create a token, how to develop contracts, and how to make after tests of the contracts. So it's for example, every contract which we create is we created after tests also to generate not only the contract but generate the test for the contract and execute it before the deployment. So to make sure that everything is fine. So
that's great.
Yeah, we can share how we are doing this. We spent a lot of time for
that's
this.
Great. We're actually going to participate on a hackathon in Campinas, which is a city in nearby São Paulo in Brazil. But Campinas is known as the tech hub in Brazil. So it would be great. Like we always have online mentorship. Mm-hmm. So if we could, have a few of you guys on our Telegram chat and maybe make a conference call.
We can help to the developers. Yeah.
Yes, that would be nice. Thanks a lot, Vlad.
Okay. Good luck, Luize. Yeah. Have a nice day. So it's okay. Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Bye.